Yeah. All right. Okay. So what we did last time, we said these are the some of the things, some of the key points that we should keep in mind when we discuss about perspective: ground line, eye level or horizon line, vanishing point, measuring point, picture plane. Okay. And we said, let's say if you have a given room. Okay, this is, we assume that this is the far end wall of a room. Okay, and we want to construct perspective for this. So we said, first assign horizon line. Okay, you have this rear side wall drawn to actual scale. Okay, and then we said, after fix your vanishing points. Okay, and that should be on the horizon line. It can be anywhere on the horizon line. Yeah. And once you have fixed that vanishing point, what you need to do is you should project lines, diagonal vanishing lines passing through the edges, so that you have the frame for you. Okay, so if you change the vanishing point, we have seen that how the room angle, or the angle in which we see, it changes. Yeah. So we said, okay, you keep if you keep it in the lower side, what happens? If you keep it on the corner, or if you keep it on top, what happens? We saw. And then we said, once you have done that, we need to generate this grid, right? So we said the only measuring part where you can do real time measurement is on this 4 lines, or on this plane. Okay, so so if you have to generate the grids, what we said, you measure this. Okay, and divide it. Let's say, for example, this is what is the size of the room? This is 16 feet. We said, okay, you divide this by 2 feet. Yeah. And we said, okay, so if this is a 2 feet grid, okay, so we mark those points, and using those points we will construct this base, right? And we said, okay, this is for the vanishing line. For the horizontal line, we don't have any reference, right? For that, we use a technique called measuring line. We said you can use anything between 60 to 30 to 45 actually. So we use a 30-degree line, and we showed if you make measuring line 30 degree. Okay, so how the measuring line should pass through this edge. Okay, cutting across the vanishing lines. So wherever it intersects, that will be your that will help in forming the grids. So this is a 30-degree line, and this is 45-degree line. Primarily we use 45-degree line so that the size of the grid looks uniform. You can use 60 also, but you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 grids you can see using 60. The same room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grids you can see by changing the measuring line angle. Okay, so once you have done that, probably this grid is available for us. Using this grid, we'll be able to construct anything. After this, it is very easy, right? So you just have to follow the grids. When you have to say that some object is there at 1 or 2 or 3rd tiles, so that will be point of reference. Okay, so what is the why are we doing this grid? Is we relate these grids with the tiles, the tiles that we have in our real time. Okay, so here we are calling it as grids, just for technical aspect. Otherwise, this grid is nothing but the proportional tile size that you have or that you observe in the drawings. In some case, probably you may not have the tiles, what we suggest is we said you create tiles and then you convert that into drawings. Yeah. So once you have done this grid, one dimensional 1 point perspective grids, drawing object within this grid is easy because you just have to follow the same the grids, 3-dimensional grids, to complete the exercise. Yeah. So we have seen how objects can be drawn and so on and so forth. Okay, I don't have to explain it again. I thought we'll just brush through this because we are going to use the same technique, no change. Only thing is there is subtle difference in how do we construct this measuring lines. Okay, so we'll just explore this. I think somebody is waiting here. We'll just let them. Okay, fine. Everyone is fine. So shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. Okay. I'll just. Okay. So what is the difference between 1 point and 2 point perspective? I think I don't think that basic explanations are required, but still 1 point perspective will have one vanishing point and 2 point perspective will have two vanishing points. Okay, so the crux is, for example, let us say here if I have to translate this, maybe we'll take this as an example. Let's say this room, and if I have to convert this into plan, okay, how it will look like, I'll just randomly draw. Okay, so this is the base. Okay, so let's say this is fine. So let's say somewhere here, from here we are trying to observe this particular wall. Okay, so the plan of this room is something like this. Okay, so it's one dimensional. We try to project everything to this vanishing point. Okay, whereas in 2 point perspective we are trying to look at the object in a diagonal way. Let's say, for example, let us say we are I'll erase this, and this is our vanishing point. Okay, so and we are trying to observe like this. Fine, or it can be, this can be our vanishing point. Not vanishing point. Okay, I think I'm saying it wrong. This is our point of observation, and these could be our cone of vision, or the extent of our vision. Okay, so let me explain it in the way we have done it. Okay, so in 2 point perspective there are the same logic will follow. First thing that we need to know is that there will be one wall. Okay, so let us assume that this is the one wall. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, the corner of the wall, and then we need to have all the what to say, let's say these rooms to be constructed. Okay, okay, so this is not in perspective, I'm just trying to explain it to you what are we trying to do. Okay, so if this is the case, how do we start constructing perspective for this particular angle? State 1, we have seen 1 point perspective. Here we have two vanishing points. Okay, one is on this side and the other one is on this side. Okay, so this seems to be vanishing somewhere. This seems to be vanishing somewhere here, right? So how do we construct this, and how do we construct this grid? Once we construct this grid, probably all other things will fall in place. Okay, so we'll use the same steps, similar steps, so that we understand this process. Okay, just one second. Okay, fine. We'll take the same example. So we have one wall which is 10 feet height, and let's say depth of the room is 16. Okay, so for our case, let us assume that we have 16 feet this side wall and maybe 20 feet this side wall. Okay, so if I have to draw it here, let's say 16 feet one side, let's say 20 feet maybe. Okay, and this is what we are trying to draw. Let us assume that this is the wall that we are trying to draw in the perspective, which is 16 feet wide and 20 feet depth, and the height of the room is 10 feet. Okay, so here the first thing that we need to know or draw is the height. Okay, so let's say 10 feet. This is room height that we have okay, this is 10 feet line. I'm drawing the this corner. Okay, this corner point, so that we can start the construction, the perspective grids in 2 point. Okay, so once we have this, what we need is again, okay, we need a ground line. I'll just draw a ground line, HL. Okay, I'll just keep it in the gray shade so that it is used as only reference line. So I have a room edge which is 10 feet. Okay, and I've just drawn a baseline or ground line. Okay, and we also need the eye level or horizon line. Okay, that we know. Let's say I'll keep it 5 feet. Okay, so let's say this is the horizon line where the vanishing point will be there. Okay, same techniques we followed in 1 point perspective also. We just we drew a ground line, and then we have drawn this facade. Now we are not doing this entire facade, we are just trying to mark the height which we assume that one of the corners of the room, and which is 10 feet, and we have a ground line, and we have marked an eye level as well. Okay, so now what we need is we need to fix vanishing points. Okay, in 1 point perspective, what we did, we kept a one vanishing point here, and then we started constructing this room frame, right? So in this case, we will do the same thing. Let us assume in 1 point perspective there was only one vanishing point. In 2 point perspective we have two vanishing points. Okay, so what I do is I'll just mark it can be anywhere. There is no hard and fast rule where to keep the vanishing points. Okay, so one of the vanishing points I'll keep it here on the right, and one on the left. Ideally we keep it on in a symmetrical way, and there is no hard and fast rule again. Okay, because I can view I can see the room from any point of view. So there is no logic in saying that you should take so much centimeters from here, so much centimeter from there. Okay, so but just make sure that the let us assume that this is your drawing sheet. So make sure that the vanishing points are within your drawing sheet. Okay, otherwise will not be able to construct it. That's the only restriction that you can keep in mind when you construct this. Okay, so once you have marked, let me also label it so that we don't forget what is what. This is ground line, this is horizon line, line or eye level, these are vanishing points. I'll just put V1, V2. Okay, so in one point perspective, what we did after marking the vanishing point, we ran through the vanishing lines through the diagonals. Same thing we'll do. We'll run through this vanishing lines from these points. Okay, so vanishing point on the right will help you in constructing the face, the building face on the left. Okay, vanishing point on the left, okay, will help you in constructing the building or the room face on the right. Okay, so let us take vanishing point on the right and construct the walls on the left. Okay, vanishing point using, let's say, is passing through the diagonal lines here and diagonal lines here. Okay, one, I'll just again keep this in the hidden lines so that we have some frame to understand. Okay, so we have not done any we have created this facade using vanishing point on the right. Same trick, use lines passing through diagonals, passing through the edges here, and this will be the facade for the right. Okay, so let us assume we don't have a measurement as of now, so I'll just quickly draw some indicative line so that we can just see how it looks. Okay, so you can see we can already see that the frame has already been set. Okay, so we can see that three-dimensional feel. We have base, we have this wall, and we have this wall, and we can also see the roof. Okay, so this much is fairly easy. In fact, further steps are also easy. It's not very complicated thing. Kindly remember that the vanishing point on the right will help you in constructing the objects on the left. Okay, the vanishing point on the left will help you in constructing the objects on the right. As simple as that. Now, okay, the most important thing now, please kindly remember and don't forget it forever. How do we generate this grid now? Okay, so in one point perspective, what we said was this is actual line. Okay, so if you measure here, anywhere here, you will get the actual measurement. If you measure here, you will get the actual measurement. In all other places, we said if you measure here, this will not be same because these are all in perspectives, right? So we said this is this phrase is actually in contact with the picture plane, and any object which is in contact with the picture plane will have a true scale. So if I measure anything here, let's say if it is 16 feet, So it will be 16 feet in the diagram. This is the only point of reference that we have, where we can think of the actual scale. Okay, whereas in this case you can see that the only object which is in contact with the picture plane is this vertical line. Okay, this corner of the line. Okay, nowhere you can already see that we have constructed using this vanishing lines. Okay, vanishing lines are not the lines where we can measure. For example, let's say if I start drawing like this, yeah, I can still see, okay, there is a grid being formed, okay, and everything seems to be vanishing. Okay, is this right? The answer is obvious no. Why? Because I'll tell you in very simple, in short time from now. Okay, kindly do not do this to generate the grids. Kindly do not directly take points on this vanishing line to construct this grid. Okay, so number one mistake you should remember, and not to be done forever. Okay, so number two, the other mistake that probably we'll do is divide this line. Okay, what we did here in one point perspective, we said you divide this line into 2 equal feet and generate this grid. Okay, let me do the same thing here. So I will say this is 2 feet. Okay, this is not 2 feet. Okay, so let me see. I can draw it on top of it. 2 feet. Yeah, so this is 2 feet line. Can I use this trick for let's say generating perspective? I want to make 2 feet grid. So I know that this is 2 feet grid measurement. Can I do this? Can I do like this? This is also a wrong method. Kindly do not do this. Okay, where should we take measurement? That is the crux that I want to discuss, and with that this trick is over. The method is actually over. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, let's say if you want to draw grids from using this vertical line as a reference, this is easy for us. I told you this is okay. We have this as a reference where we can do the actual measurement. So if I put 2 feet grid, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can actually, let's say I'll mark it here so that we don't have too many lines. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me erase all other things. Okay, so this is 2 feet grids reference that I have drawn. Now I want to make grid here on this facade or in this facade. It is easy. Let's say I want to make a grid on the left hand side. So what I do, I'll use the right hand side vanishing point to create grids on the left hand side. So I'll use the vanishing lines. I'll use the vanishing lines to pass through you can see already these horizon these lines are actually in line with the perspective lines that we have generated. Okay, so the drawing on the facade is easier because we have the measuring line here. We can directly divide this and use this as a measurement for drawing the object. The tricks is the major point that we should understand is how do we draw this base grade. Okay, so where do we draw that base grade is on the ground line. Okay, kindly remember what you not here on this vanishing line but on the ground lines. Okay, so now what I do is I'll just draw 2 feet grid here as well. Excel 2 feet grid will use 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, how much we said? What is the size we agreed? 20 by 16. How many we have done? Okay, fine, let it be. Fine, so this is the point. I will erase the points. I'll just mark it here so that we don't have too many lines that will confuse us. Okay, so these are 2 feet grids measured on the ground line, not on the vanishing lines. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the left hand side as well. Okay, I have put the same points on the left hand side. We'll follow some grids. Maybe I'll make this also look more appealing than some random things. Okay, so these are 2 feet grid reference line on this vertical wall. These are 2 feet grid on the ground line. Okay, on the ground line, please remember on the ground line. Okay, so we'll just put some numbers here. I'll bring all this text here. Just we were just trying to construct the room in a given measurement, right? So this is 10 feet. It's already 10 feet. We don't have to write it again. So it's a 10 feet wall. We said one side of the wall is 16 feet, right? So what I do is I will just mark we need 8, I think we need 10 on this side. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, it's already going out, so let me modify this. We will draw for we will draw this for 16. We'll draw this for 12 maybe. Okay, so let us assume this is what we wanted to draw, 16 feet by 12 feet grid. Okay, so for 16 feet we need it's a 2 feet grid. So this is 4 6 8 10 12 14 16. Okay, so 16 feet grid has been marked here, and what I do is I will just copy this on this side as well, so that we have point of reference on the ground line on this side as well. Here, okay, here we have more space. Probably we can draw 20 on this side. We can modify that. This is 18. This is 20. Okay, so I'll modify the drawing. 9, 10. Okay, so let me modify the drawing. So let us assume that this is 20. Let this be 16. Okay, and this is what we wanted to draw. So now these measurements are taken on the ground line. Okay, kindly remember that these measurements are taken on the ground line, and now the grids has to be formed. The grids will be formed using these measuring lines. Okay, these points you have to pass through these points from here, okay, for generating the grids. Okay, so this will be 2 feet by 2 feet grid that we are trying to create using the measurement that we have in hand. Okay, so this will be the correct grid measurements. Do not ever take measurements here and divide it, because this is a vanishing line which is not the correct place for taking measurements. The measurement should be taken in the ground line. Okay, and that line has to be projected to this vanishing lines which forms one edge of your room, and from here the tiles are started. Okay, so same thing I'll do here. I'll pass through these. Okay, these divisions are done in the ground line. Okay, that is the only tricks that you should remember. All other things are same as that of 1 point perspective. Okay, so we have this grid form now. So what I do now is I'll just remove all these grids. I'll remove all this grids. Okay, so we have this base ready for making the object. Okay, so this will be 2 feet here. So we have already measured it in perspective. This is 2 feet grid. Okay, 2 feet by 2 feet grid. Okay, so please do not make any measurements on these vanishing lines. Only thing that you need to do is you need to generate measurements from the ground lines. Yeah, that's the only trick that you should know. Okay, now I need this. I said this is easy, right? So I want horizontal line. How do? I take a vanishing points from here and run through these measurements that I have taken on the lines. So this will help in making this grid. I'll remove these things. Okay, so I have done this grid, horizontal line. Similarly, I can take vanishing lines from here, pass through these point of reference. Okay, remove these lines. I'm removing, okay, in my case, because you will be able to understand in your when you draw it, you kindly draw using guidelines. Do not erase anything. Okay, so it can be there in your drawings. I'll also just trim it here so that our drawing doesn't look very dramatic. I'll just remove all this. Okay, so horizontal line is fine, but how do we get the vertical line? Vertical line, you will take it from this grid that you have done. Okay, you have this here. you just need to draw the vertical lines from this point of grade. Okay, so you can see that how nicely it is coming out. So I'll use the same technique here. Draw vertical lines from the edge of the grids. Do not draw it from the measuring point that you have done in your ground line. There's only for drawing vanishing the grids, vanishing lines, we need these measurements to be translated here. Otherwise, using this edge, you can draw the vertical lines. Now you can see how simple and how easy it is now. So I think after this, it's all in your hand. You understand how this grid works, and using this grid, you should be in a position to construct. Let's say if you want to construct something here, everything should be based on the grids. Okay, I'll also add the same thing for the roof. Okay, so that we'll have grids. Okay, for making it easy, right? So you make a grid on top as well if required, so that you have the full grid in hand for constructing the perspective. Okay, so this is as simple as that. So this will where you will be able to draw the object using this grid. Okay, I'll just draw some reference lines here. Okay, this is on the 5th. Okay, and probably this is the 5th line. Yeah, so it's all using these grids. You'll be able to draw how the perspectives. Yeah. Okay, so I think it should be easy. I don't think there is some complications in that. Okay, just for everyone's interest, let me do it again so that we all are in the same page. Okay, so first, draw ground line. So not ground line, the diagonal lines that where you want to where that's the only measurement line that you have. So in our case, I said 10 feet line, 10 feet corner. Okay, and in your case, let's say if you have a sheet like this, you ideally based on your the angle that in which you want, if you keep your this edge somewhere there in this place. Okay, so you will have a grid something like this. Okay, I'm just randomly drawing it. Okay, so your point of reference will be somewhere here. Okay, so this is how your room probably would look like. Yeah, so or if normally my suggestion is you can keep it in the middle so that you have symmetrical outlines. Yeah. Or you can shift it. It doesn't matter, as long as you are able to understand what you want to do. That's fair enough. Okay, so this is that edge. Then I'll draw ground line. Then I'll keep one eye level or horizon line. Okay, and then I'll mark vanishing points, one on the right, one on the left. These two vanishing points will determine the perspective frame. Using vanishing point on the left, I will draw the frame for the right. Using vanishing point on the right, I'll draw the wall on the left. Okay, so I'll just make this grid. I'll remove all this. Okay, so once you have this in hand, okay, so once you have this in hand, what we need is this grids to be formed. This is the major thing. That grid needs to be formed in this ground line. Okay, how much I have? It's 27 feet. I'll just make 3 feet grid. These are my point of measurements. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll use the same thing on, okay, let me, okay, using this vanishing point, just pass through this measuring lines. Done. Same thing, I'll use the same grids here on the left hand side, and this time I'll use these grids to pass through these measuring lines. We have this grid formed. Okay, so now we need the vertical lines. Vertical lines are easy. I'll remove this now because we don't need, this will create confusion. I'll just remove this also just to make the drawings slightly clean. Okay, so we have just have to draw vertical lines from the edge of this vanishing lines. As simple as that. Okay. Same thing happens here. From the edge, just draw vertical lines. Okay, now how do we draw the lines here? Is by using this as a measurement. Okay, so I think this is 10 feet. So I'll again divide this, let's say 2 and 4 feet and 2 feet. I'll just draw one line which is 4 feet, another 4 feet. I'll use this is 4 feet grid, 8 feet grid. Okay, and if I want this line on this side, I'll take the vanishing point and pass it from here. Okay, I'll remove this. Okay, I want the horizontal line in this side as well, so I'll use the vanishing point on the left and pass through this points. Okay, so I'll just hide this so that, okay, this is our vanishing lines, sorry, horizon line, and this is the room frame that we have in hand. Okay, so is it all right for everyone? Are you able to follow? Are you guys there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Okay, so once you have this in perspective grid, I think all other things are easy for constructing using this, because we don't have to follow any other new rule other than what we had followed in the, sorry, I'll just remove it here. Okay, so the same method can be used for interiors, exteriors, whatever you wanted to do can be done. Okay, so the idea is great. After that, the same logic applies. Okay, so you just have to make objects within that grid, like we tried to do it in the one point perspective. So this grid is the crux. Okay, how do we generate this grid? And I remember some of you had done 1 centimeter grids, very close grids. Even in the mid semester, I can see that some of you have done very sharp and very close grids. Okay, so the more grids you have, the more more detailing you can do, and it's not necessary that you have to construct the whole of grid like this. Wherever you want, suppose you want to do some detailing here, you need reference. So there you try to draw the grids so that it is useful for it. It's not necessary that you have to draw every time all this and then project it. Not necessary. So suppose if you don't have anything on the roof, or if you don't have anything to show it on this wall, you don't have to draw all this. You can just let's say if it's just a plain wall and you have nothing to show, leave it. It's fine. Only thing is you have openings here. Let's say some openings you wanted to show and here, and then project it out. Okay, so all that you can you can show it using these grids. Only thing here, not necessarily that. Okay, it's not visible, so you can use wherever you want to do detailing that part alone, instead of doing it on all sides. Yeah, that's one thing that you should keep in mind. Okay, all right. So I'll stop here for some time, and if there are any questions, we can take. Otherwise, we'll go ahead with other things. Some more things are there that I'll like to highlight. Is there any? Are there any questions so far? Easy, right? It's not very difficult task, isn't it? Is it fine for everyone? Yes, no, some answers please.
Sir, it is fine.
Only one person is speaking. Okay, anyway, fine. I hope maybe once you do it, you will get to know, and if you get stuck somewhere, you kindly let us know. We will also be there to assist you. Okay, fine. This is about one method how you can do this 2-point perspective. Particularly, this method can be used for we have seen this here, right? We can use the same technique for generating exterior views. We can use the same thing for generating interior views as well. Same logic applies here. This can be used for making this exterior view, or it can be made the same technique can be applied for making exterior views as well, interior views as well, and exterior as well. Okay, so what I am going to do now is there is another method of generating perspective. It's called by perspective by projection method. This is a grid method. There is a technique called perspective by projection methods also. Here I will introduce you to the techniques, and it's up to you to whether apply it, use it in your case or not. It's all up to you. Okay. So what I do now is I'll draw certain lines, and then probably I'll explain it to you once I have something in hand. Let's say this is okay. Where is the grid? Yes. It's too big line. This is picture plane. Okay, so this line is a picture plane line. What I do now is I'll just draw one object, let's say, which is 10 feet. Okay, we have an object which is or a building or anything. Let's say we have an object which is 10 feet by 10 feet. Okay, and we have been saying that for perspective, the ideal thing is we use 45-degree lines, right, as a measuring line, so that we have a symmetrical way of output. Okay, so here what I do is I'll rotate this object by 45. Okay, and I keep one of the edges which touching the picture plane. Okay, so we have this object here which is 10 feet by 10 feet. One of the object is touching the picture plane, and I have always I was just explaining here this time, and I have been saying this previously as well. Any object which is touching the picture plane is where we will be able to actually measure what is the actual size of the object. Okay, so let us assume that this is one object which is so and so 10 feet by 10 feet, and the object is placed like that, which is at 45-degree. It can be any angle. Okay, I'm just trying to for simplicity I'm just keeping it at 45-degree angle. It can be further rotated this way anyway. Okay, so but I'm just for simplistic drawing I'm making this as 45-degree incline. Okay, so there are certain things that we should keep in mind. One, there's something called stationary point. Okay, so stationary point, what are stationary points? Can somebody explain? I think I asked this question in the mid-semester as well. Whether stationary point was there in your mid-semester question? I forgot. Yes, no? What is stationary point?
It is the point from which an object is observed.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is a point from where the object is observed. Okay, so we have a picture plane, we have an object, and we have drawn the stationary point. And what I do is I'll just draw an vanishing line at a 45-degree angle passing through the vanishing point. Okay, we have the vanishing points, which is 45-degree line passing through the stationary points, and it is cutting the picture plane at these points. Okay, these are nothing but the vanishing points. Vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. Okay, so let me erase this. Vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. Okay, now what I do is I'll just draw one ground line. It's too close. Let's see. This is a ground line. Okay. What I do here is on the right hand side, on the left hand side, I'll just draw the object here, which is, how does it look like in elevation. Okay, so if you see this class, okay, so if you see this, there's an object, this is in plan and this is in elevation. You can see what is the size of the object here. What I do now is after this we'll follow what we followed in the one point perspective. Okay, so what I do is I'll just highlight this part as well. Okay, I will keep one horizon line or eye level. Okay, this is at 10 feet level. Okay, so if this is an elevation of an object, I'll write it here, elevation, or it can be section also. Okay, so we have an elevation of the object and we have drawn one vanishing line somewhere here. I'll just keep it slightly away because it is too close. Okay, so what I do now is I will just project this line. You can keep this, all this hidden lines. Okay, so I'll project this vertical, this edge on this ground. Okay, and like I have been saying, this edge is the only edge where we can do actual measurement. Okay, so if I have to label it, let us assume that this is A dash. Okay, so if you see the drawing, let us assume that this is A and A dash. Okay, so I have projected this point on the ground. Okay, and it is resting here, and we need the height. We can directly take the height from here. Okay, and mark it here. Okay, so this is nothing, this edge I have drawn it here on the ground line, and this is my vanishing, this is my eye level. Okay, now I want the 2 point perspective to be constructed, and here we said this is my stationary point, and from this stationary point I have generated vanishing point here and vanishing point here. What I do is I'll just bring down this vanishing points to the eye level. Okay, so I'll just put a circle here. So this is vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. Vanishing point 2 is vanishing point 1. Okay, now I need to generate this perspective. What I do, I'll just need to project. Okay, from vanishing point 1 I have got this image, this edge. Okay, and from vanishing point this and this. Okay, so you can actually see that, okay, there is an object which is, you can see here, this space, you can see this is going this way, yeah, three-dimensional thing that you will be able to see already, right? So but we need this edge also. How do we get it? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to project a line passing and connect it to the edge of this. Okay, same thing, you need to project a line from the stationary point and the edge of it. Okay, so this will be your edge, this will be your edge. Okay, so do not draw directly here like this. Okay, the edge will be determined by this space. I'm just drawing the projection line from here. I'm just drawing the projection line from here. Okay, I'll keep all this in hidden line so that we can highlight the object. Okay, so we have this vanishing point coming like this, and we have this edge generated. Okay, so I'll just complete this. Yeah, so how did I get this edge? Is by projecting the object to the picture plane, and from picture plane I have brought this here. Alright, how did I mark the height? It's based on the already height that we have marked here. Similarly this side, the object is drawn. Fine, I'll give you some more example. Let us say let us remove this. Okay, so this is one example. Let me do the same thing. Let's change certain things here now. Okay, fine. So I said we need an object which is something like this, and we need the object to be touching the picture plane, and we need an observer. Okay, stationary point. Let us say now I have shifted here slightly, and what I do now is I'll use let's say this time a 60-degree angle. Excel angle 60 degree. It's too close, or okay, maybe we can use Excel angle. Oh, it's too wide. Okay, I'll keep it 45 only, so that it doesn't look very hard. Okay, so the vanishing point remains the same. Okay, now only thing is what I do, I'll take this eye level above the object. Let's say I'm observing the object from above. Okay, so that's the only change I make to this drawing. So how do we do it now? So what I do first is I'll just like I said in that last exercise, let us, okay, one second, I made some mistakes. Yeah, okay, so I have my stationary point here, and I'm just trying to bring this object on the ground line, and I know this object height by elevation. I'll just draw it here. Okay, and this is my object, corner line. I have drawn it here. Now I need the vanishing points. So what I do, I have already from stationary point I have the vanishing points on here. I'll bring this vanishing point to the eye level from where I'm just observing the object. Okay, so in this case my eye level or horizon line is above the object. Okay, so I'm just bringing it here so that we know what are we doing. Okay, now same tricks. After this, what we need to do, we need to project vanishing lines touching these two faces. Okay, now this is fine. This face is this A dash. So let me write that also so that you are able to follow. A dash. We have this drawing here. Now I need this edge. Let's call it BB dash. Okay, so how do I get it here? I'll use vanishing lines to pass through to connect this. I'll use, okay, these, not this, kindly do not take the lines directly here. That's wrong. That's wrong. This is totally wrong. We need to project this object back to this picture plane. From picture plane we take the line. Okay, so picture plane is what we actually see. Okay, we don't see I think in the first class I have told you, I guess, picture plane is like a frame. Let's say you see outside through your window. Your glass, if you draw something on that glass plane, which the plane on which you draw is nothing but the picture plane. Okay, so everything is projected to this picture plane. Okay, so this object end is also projected here and brought here. Okay, I'll just label it here so that we can follow. Okay, from here how do we take it to the object? We just have to draw straight line. Okay, I'll just draw a straight line. Okay, so I'll convert all this into guidelines so that we can draw it. Okay, so what we have done from here, this edge to this point, we have brought it here. and we have drawn the lines. This edge BB dash is okay. Maybe if it may not be visible because it is a gray line. So let me keep it white itself. Okay, so BB dash we have projected here, which is here, and from here we are drawing a vertical line. Okay, so this edge we have got. So let me draw this, highlight it. Okay, so you can see that this edge we are able to project and draw it here. Now let us do the same thing for this edge. Okay, what I do is the same thing. Excel, sorry, I'll use a projection line. Okay, and I'll bring this edge, let's call it CC dash. Okay, so from here you take vertical line. Okay, it is there, but we have not drawn the vanishing lines. The vertical lines we have drawn. When for vanishing line, you take a vanishing line from here. From this edge. From this edge. Okay, so we have already brought this CC dash line. So I'll bring it here. You can see this is C and this is C dash. I'll highlight it here so that there's so many lines so that you do not get confused. Yeah, so we have got these two faces. Okay, AA dash already we got it, CC dash also, this head also we brought it here. Now the upper face we need, I'll just use Excel, project it from here. I'll use Excel, line, vanishing line, connect it here. Okay, so this part, this part also we have got. Okay, so let me put everything in gray line. Yeah, so we have this object in place. Okay, so we have the object which is touching the picture plane, and we have a stationary point here. Okay, so using this stationary point, we have generated this perspective. Okay, so here in this case the eye level is here. This is the eye level. Horizon line or eye level is above. Here the eye level is here somewhere at the 5 feet level. Okay, so this is perspective by projection method. Okay, so even if you have a plan here, you can have your plan, the let's say elevation, the outer lines. You can have your porch and other things, and you can draw it here, and you can have some elevation for reference to get the height and project and construct it. Okay, so this is this is another method of constructing perspective. Even this is not a very difficult method. It may look very complicated with these terminologies and projection lines. Maybe if you do one exercise, and you will know that how easy it is. It may look very, very complex because of the lines and terminologies used. Otherwise, it is very, very simple exercise to do. Okay, so this is 2-point perspective by grid method. Okay, and this is 2-point perspective by projection method. Okay, so I hope everyone is able to understand what I have said, and I hope I have kept it very simple. Okay, it's not a very complex exercise. I hope I have made it simple. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, what we will do is we can stop here.